Okay, I've been putting off my February book recap, and here we are at the end of March, and I'm almost ready to do my March book recap, but let's go ahead and do February anyway. If you don't know me, I'm Chrissy. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 2 little boys, and I help moms figure out who the heck they are as a person outside of being a mom. I hybrid read the physical copy and listened to the audiobook of 8 books this month. Here's the rundown. The first book I read was The Favorites by Layne Fargo, and this is probably my favorite book that I read for the entire month. It is so good. It gives you a sneak peek into the world of figure skating and all of the interpersonal relationships that come with it. If you liked Daisy Jones and the Six, you're going to love this book. The next book I listened to while I was sick, I had a fever and I was like falling asleep a lot, and I listened to it while I was conscious and subconscious, and actually it was the perfect book for this. It was The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Now, this book brought you to a wedding, meeting all kinds of new people, being in a new world, and it was just like the perfect immersive being in another space with other people that I needed while my whole family and I were sick. It was pretty slow, and there were times I fell asleep while listening to it that I didn't rewind because I didn't feel like I missed any of the plot, but I'm glad I listened to it. The third book I listened to was Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden. I loved this book. Now, maybe it's because it's about a stay-at-home mom who writes an advice column in her spare time. I mean, you know, as a stay-at-home mom who does a podcast in her spare time. So maybe there was like a little piece of it that I could really relate to, but I loved the twists. I loved the adventures. I loved getting to know the characters. I really liked this book. The fourth book I read was A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. I gave this one 5 stars. It was a really great thriller with like family dynamics, trying to figure out what was going on. Definitely a really good book. The fifth book I read was My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. Now, I also gave this 5 stars, but I know this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I liked the mystery behind it. I liked trying to figure out what was going to happen. And what I love about Alice Feeney is when she does a twist, she doesn't like just twist. She like keeps twisting until it's all the way like in this, I don't know, 5 rounds of rotation twist. Very good. I loved it. It was like just my style and just what I wanted at the time. Next, I read Woman Down by Colleen Hoover. And I know a lot of people are diehard Colleen Hoover fans. I did not like this book. I didn't like the characters. I could not relate to any of what was happening. I didn't like the storyline. I didn't like this book. The next book I read was Pretty Girls by Karin Slaughter. Now, my sister has been recommending this book to me for years, so I finally borrowed it from the library and borrowed her copy. I loved this book. Now, it's got a lot of trauma in it. It is pretty disturbing, but if you're the kind of person that loves like Law and Order SVU and those kinds of things, give this book a try. Very good psychological thriller. The last book I read for February was Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates, and I gave this one 2 stars, and I think that was kind of being generous. I did not like this book. It was a mystery, but it was like, in my mind, a very predictable mystery. Like the whole time, I didn't care how it ended. I didn't care what the big reveal was at the end. I knew that no matter what happened, I wasn't going to be surprised. So I say this one as a skip. Let me know what you read in February, if you read any of these books, if you agree with any of my reviews or any of my takes on them, or if maybe yours are a little bit different. And stick around because my March review should be coming out pretty soon.